Hey everybody, welcome back. These are some mother-in-laws doing what they do best, ruining weddings. Also, I'm very excited to announce that my content is now officially on Spotify. My new video podcast is called Petty POV. To listen, just download the Spotify app or go to www.spotify.com, search Petty POV with Charlotte Dobre and follow that shit. We're just getting things up and running. I definitely want to do a lot more long-form podcast stuff. I want to have guests on the podcast and just more content for you guys, so definitely give that a follow if you haven't already. It's just me and my petty POV. Am I the a-hole for giving my future mother-in-law 3 days to pay me for a new wedding dress, or else I will show the family photo of her wearing it? I'm feeling delightfully sassy this morning. I'm in a mood. Let's get into it. So, I'm getting married to my fiance soon. I bought my wedding dress weeks ago. My future mother-in-law, kept pestering me about trying it on, but I firmly refused. I finally shut it down after she offered me $100 to let her try it on. The f*** you doing that for? Why do you want to try it on? Her reason for persisting so much? Well, she says it's because of her love for wedding dresses and her obsession with them. Yeah, I don't think you should be like trying on someone else's wedding dress. Like, if you like wedding dresses that much, just like go to a store and try some on. Although I wouldn't really condone that because, you know, then you're kind of wasting their time unless you're getting married. But anyway, strange. Off to a strange start. Fast forward to yesterday, I came home from work early and I found my fiance at home. He freaked out after seeing me and tried to prevent me from going into my room while trying to text somebody on his phone. Please tell me what I think is happening is not happening. Please say it ain't so. I will not go into that room and see my dress on. I opened the door and was shocked to see his mom standing there wearing my dress. Yes. I instantly pulled out my phone and took a photo of her in it. She and my fiance freaked out after I told her she needed to pay me for a new dress in 3 days, or else I'll show the whole family the photo. Okay, well, did she break the dress? I mean, okay, she broke your trust, which I think is the important thing here. She started crying and then left, and my fiance blew up at me saying I can't be serious and that I overreacted because his mom just wanted to try the dress on. No harm done. Well, there is harm done if you had a problem with it and you expressed a boundary and she went ahead and broke that boundary. Broke the boundary? We're breaking boundaries right now? Going against the boundaries? But I refused to listen to him because in my opinion, the dress should only be worn by the bride and the bride only. Quite frankly, I felt disgusted looking at the dress again and I don't want it anymore. And so I think it's fair that she pays me after she ruined it for me. He yelled at me and told me to wake up and stop treating his mom like that as if she was an enemy. Why is she being like super freaking delusional and trying to try on your dress against your wishes? Like, that's also kind of weird. Why are we not yelling at the mom for doing that? We had a fight after he failed to get me to back down and he's been staying with his mom since then. What a surprise! What a surprise. I felt awful, but I spent $3,000 on this dress and I worked hard to get it. I can't stand looking at it, but people in my family think I'm escalating things and risking my relationship with not only my future mother-in-law, but my fiance as well. It's not about her trying on the dress, it's about her going against your wishes and ignoring a boundary that you have set, that you feel uncomfortable with. What other boundaries is she going to push? This is only the beginning. Update, oh my God, this blew up and I thought I'd add some updates. My fiance called and offered to pay for the dress himself so we can end the conflict, but he wants me to, number one, hand him my phone so he can delete the photo himself. Okay, back that up somewhere, use it for a rainy day. Swear that I don't have any copies to use against his mom later. You can lie. Apologize to his mom. I'm sorry, is the mom also apologizing to you? And lastly, he asked that I quit his family group chat and log out of Facebook for at least a month. I haven't responded yet. Yeah, you can't marry this person. He can go marry his mom since he's taking sides. P.S. He called with this offer/conditions hours ago, but I didn't want to include it in the post, and now I did. I'm not sure if I'll agree because I don't want him to pay for it. I want his mom, the one who wore it, to pay for it. Not being vicious, but trying to hold her accountable. I don't think she needs to pay for the dress. Like, I understand that you don't like looking at it and stuff. I think she needs to apologize, and that could maybe be a common ground. And I also think your fiance needs to apologize too, and tell his mom to stop being delulu. You're not the a-hole in my eyes, but let's see what Reddit had to say. Go ahead, Settle down. Not the a-hole, but are you sure you want to marry this guy? He stood guard outside your bedroom so his mother could try on your wedding dress. That's a good point. Yeah. Do you think he will ever stand up for you against her? No, I don't. When you have a mother like this who's really, really controlling, unfortunately, you do need to call out this behavior. And you need to seriously think about marrying this person because it's not going to end here. His mother is controlling, manipulative, and deceitful and will probably be an absolutely horrible mother-in-law should OP choose to go through with this marriage. Send the photo to everyone invited with an announcement that regretfully you will no longer be participating. Send the photo to everyone invited with the announcement that, regretfully, you will no longer be participating in the wedding, but you wish the couple the best. The happy couple! Why does your future mother-in-law want to put on your dress that her son is going to marry you in? That's weird. There's something seriously strange and psychological going on here. I'm not sure what. Ain't a psychologist, ain't a psychiatrist. I ain't gonna diagnose it. All I know is it's weird. I don't know. Is canceling the wedding too harsh? Is asking the mother-in-law to pay for the dress too harsh? Is there another way of dealing with it? Should the wedding be called off? You let me know. But for now, you're not the a-hole. My mother-in-law booked the room next to our bridal suite the night of the wedding. Oh, that's so weird. My fiance and I are getting married in 3 weeks, and as of yesterday, I have simply had it with my mother-in-law. I went to visit our wedding venue in March and had expressed my excitement to meet the mother-in-law about seeing the place and that the honeymoon suite was in a separate cottage with 2 bridal suites, and that we would potentially book both to get ready in and have more privacy. I was shocked when the venue coordinator told me she booked the adjoining suite room. After speaking with her on the phone for 40 minutes, clearly knowing what room it is. I was annoyed, but decided I wouldn't say anything and switched our rooms. Where's this going? Okay. I should also mention that she kept asking us to invite more of her friends, even though 43 of the 100 guests invited are her friends and family. In April, she threw me a bridal shower, which was very nice, but again, it was all of her friends, and I knew less than half of the people there. What's with all these mother-in-laws thinking that this, weddings are about them? I understand it's important to invite family, but why are we inviting family over friends that we actually see to our weddings? My mother was flying up from South Carolina, and it would be the last time I saw her until the wedding. My mom doesn't travel solo often. I wanted to pick her up and drop her off at the airport and give her peace of mind, and could spend some time together before the busy weekend. Had I known the drama that would follow, I would have never agreed to the shower at all. My mother-in-law called up my fiance crying because I wanted to pick my mother up from the airport. I was speechless. Yeah, I'm kind of speechless too. What is happening here? Why are we upset about that? I then agreed to only drop her off, which sent her into more of a spiral. What? She kept saying we were just not going to spend enough time with her, but she's not your mother! Even though I was barely going to see my mom at all, and we were staying the entire weekend. We live in NYC and have since made the second trip to see them in MA. And immediately upon arrival, she demands that we make a holiday plans with them. During breakfast, my fiance invited his parents up to NYC to stay with us one more time before the wedding. I was very angry as he'd not consulted me about this, and we were also in the middle of packing. They came last week and attended our marriage at the courthouse. That evening, we left for Chicago and they stayed in my apartment for one night. So, to summarize, not only have they seen us 2 more times since the shower, she's already planning her stay in our new Chicago apartment for Thanksgiving. When I began to unpack, I was absolutely stunned at what I had saw. I found a picture of my fiance's deceased grandparents very neatly placed in his underwear drawer. That's not what I want to see when I'm looking for my underwear, I'm just saying. I was speechless. I sent a photo in our group chat to mother-in-law and my fiance, and she confirmed that she had just put it there after it, quote, fell out from her purse. Not only was this just a bizarre move, she clearly gone through our personal belongings and violated our personal space. I was absolutely irate, and I told my fiance she's not to contact me until after the wedding and we can sit down and establish some very clear boundaries. Why do mother-in-laws have such a problem with expressing boundaries? Mother-in-laws and mothers have problems with you expressing boundaries, especially as an adult. It's like they get mad when we grow up and we don't want to be treated like children anymore. And then of course, if we call it out, then we're ungrateful. You ungrateful! No, I just don't. I'm like a 30 100-year-old woman. I don't need a mother anymore. Well, I do, but you get what I'm saying. This is a very watered down version of everything that has happened, but I'm fed up. She sent me a text apologizing today, but she's done similar things before and still refuses to respect boundaries. I'm not sure what to do. She's been adding more stress to the wedding, but I don't want to come off as the bad guy, as she often plays the victim and makes the situations all about her. I think there's definitely some empty nest syndrome happening here. Definitely something that hasn't been resolved within about her little boy growing up. I think to a certain extent it's nice that she wants to spend time with you, but the problem with someone who's overbearing like this is that they take you and your priorities and not wanting to see them as kind of like an offense. Like you're offending them by not being available every time that you want to see them, which is not the case. It's just like, I just don't necessarily want to be BFFs with my fiance's mom is what I think is going on here. I also think it's super weird that she booked the suite next to you guys, like, especially the wedding night. Like, I'm sorry, but like, I would not be able to enjoy my wedding night if I knew that my mother-in-law was in the suite next door, like likely sharing a wall. Or maybe I would just be extra loud. I also strongly believe that you should get together with your family. It's important to spend time with family, but like not to the point that the rest of your relationships suffer, not to the point where you feel like every time you do something and you're out of the house that you're with your, significant other's family. Like, I love my family, but I don't want to hang out with them like every other day. You know what I'm saying? We drive each other crazy. It's a healthy space. My mother-in-law interrupted our wedding vows and yelled at my husband at our wedding. Oh dear Lord, there really is a time and a place, isn't there? And it certainly is not a wedding. First time poster, so please be kind. I'm struggling with the fallout from my new mother-in-law's behavior at our wedding. I could post an essay about her behavior since then, but have decided to keep it to the behavior surrounding the wedding for now. I'm massively concerned about the effect it could have on my relationship with my husband, and feel the need to seek advice from others in similar situations. Names and locations have been omitted to protect the innocent. Haha. My husband and I met in graduate school and we were instantly connected. He'd moved here from a surrounding state and I've lived here my whole life. We dated for 6 years before we got married and his mother was never really an issue. His parents would come visit once in a while and we would go visit them. There were some red flags with his mother in terms of her drinking, but I honestly never gave it a second thought at the time. Once we got engaged though, everything changed. Okay. That's weird. Interesting timing. His mother suddenly became incredibly needy and manipulative, even though they didn't live in the same state. Everything comes with a side of guilt. Her side of the family started causing issues because we were not inviting children to our wedding. In our defense, it was a black tie evening wedding. We did not feel it was appropriate for children. Yeah, and it's your wedding, so it's your choice. Let me be clear, we love children, but decided not to invite them to our wedding. But my mother-in-law took it upon herself to confront me on this, without her son's knowledge, and try to coerce me into allowing her side of the family to bring their children, even though I had made it clear to her in a kind way that no children were being invited on both sides. So is she like paying for this wedding? Or like, why does she think she has the right to decide who the guest list is? I'm just wondering, because I feel like maybe that changes things if she's paying for it. But if she's not, that's another story. She and her family continued to push the issue to the point where my husband and I offered to pay for a babysitter so that the parents could attend. This was rejected. That was way too nice of you, by the way. That's not your responsibility. This was rejected, and some members of her family opted to not attend our wedding because children weren't invited. Good. Whatever, like literally good. Which was hurtful and, in my opinion, a little ridiculous. Oh, she's just off there talking so much about it. It was the source of a lot of drama leading up to the wedding. Throughout the planning process, I attempted to include my mother-in-law from afar, sending her pictures and updates so she would feel included because she doesn't have a daughter and always wanted one. That's what it is. She thinks that she's your mother now and that she can control you in the same way that she controls everybody else. The week before the wedding, I sent her a bouquet of white flowers to make her feel special. Nice, but you're also reinforcing bad behavior, where you're rewarding her for bad behavior. I do it too, by the way. Disease to please. It's not good. It's not good. We gotta stop pleasing other people. Learning this now. Then came the wedding weekend. We had our rehearsal dinner and opened it up for all of our guests to come for welcome drinks. It was all very elegant and going well until my mother-in-law's side of the family showed up. All of the women showed up wearing white, which is a big no where I come from, not just where you come from, babe, where everybody comes from. This was in protest for us not allowing children at the wedding? Shut up. That is so messed up. This was pointed out to me by our friends from graduate school, and it was humiliating and petty. Not in a good way, by the way. I said my hellos and could tell some of them felt bad and went back to the hotel to get my beauty rest for the big day. On the day of the wedding, things were going well. I was in a suite with my family and friends getting ready, and my husband was in a separate suite with his family and friends getting ready. All was good. The ceremony started, and when it was my turn to walk down the aisle, I couldn't have been more excited. We lost 3 grandparents between the 2 years leading up to our wedding, and we decided to honor them by acknowledging them at the start of our wedding ceremony. Once they were mentioned, my mother-in-law got up out of her seat, approached us at the altar, and interrupted our wedding to say that an aunt who had passed away wasn't mentioned. Okay. Inappropriate. My husband immediately told her to sit down, but the damage was done. And guests thought she was objecting to our marriage. Oh my gosh. No. It was mortifying. My husband is pretty sure she was mixing alcohol with her medications, but claims it was not the case. When I had my first dance with my father, she got up, turned back to us, and proceeded to walk around the tables her family was seated at. Oh, hell no. No. You say you live far away, move further. She was the only person standing and not paying attention. My husband and my mother-in-law had discussed what song they would dance to for their first dance months in advance of the wedding, and he ultimately selected the song she wanted. However, right before it was her turn to dance, she angrily accused him of lying to her and choosing a different song. Oh, this is hella messy. My husband has the text messages from her requesting the song that he selected, so this was completely untrue. She often lies to get what she wants, which has continued since the wedding. It got to the point where he had to say, "Mom, why are you ruining my wedding?" to her while they were dancing. We had to edit her behavior throughout the night from our wedding video. This woman had such a negative impact on us in other ways as well. I'm wondering if there is a way to get past the way she treated us at our wedding. You move across the world. Far, far, far away. Subscribe!